Hello, everybody. This is Jeff Veale, the business guru from, once again, downtown Manila, with another celebrity guest on 15 Minutes of Fame. And today's guest is an outstanding guest, guys, well known all over the world, and you'll find out why very shortly. But firstly, let me give you a bit of a bio on this wonderful lady. Her name is 𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷. She's a media queen, TV host, director, and photojournalist, amongst other things. Her company, �AA Media, and industry media marketing. She's still learning the game. She's only been doing this for 40 years, guys. So if you want to know something about it, you might want to reach out and have a chat to her. Brief description. At �AA Media, it's her best shot for maximum media exposure. She's based on the Gold Coast, but she works globally, all over the world, guys, with a lot of different celebrities, and people, and you too can be a star. So you've got speakers, authors, coaches, and you can build a global brand with guaranteed mass media exposure. This includes TV, radio, print media, plus other online shows. Right, key achievements or projects. Aldwyn is a mass media marketing expert, known as the Media Queen. She's a TV host, speaker, photojournalist, and author of multiple international best-selling books with 40 years of media experience. PR company, �AA Media, is the only one she knows that guarantees results in the mainstream media. And there's a lot more I can tell you about this lady, but she'll tell you herself shortly, guys. And I'm having a look here. She's founded a Global Good News Day in 2018, which has been running annually on August the 8th, and the monthly Global Good News Challenge is June 2020. An animal activist, she founded Animal Action Events in 2007. Oh, this lady does so many things. I'm running out of superlatives. And run 17 annual charity events so far, raising awareness and appreciation and respect for all animals. Personal motto, as stand for the truth, good news, and animal welfare. One of her favorite sayings is by Gandhi: be the change you wish to see in the world. Isn't that so true, guys? And guys, she's got some awesome shows. Keep an eye out for her. She's got some awesome shows. I try and go whenever I can. Interesting fact about her, she represented Australia in table tennis from the ages of 13 to 19 in Asia and Europe. In her spare time, she loves performing in her comedy duo, which I just saw recently. Look it up on YouTube, guys. The Fiddly Gigglers, acting, playing ukulele, long beach walks, and body surfing. So with further ado, 𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷, this is your life. How are you today, Aldwyn?
Hello, Jeff. Thank you so much for that amazing introduction that I wrote myself. I really appreciate that.
You paid me enough. I was happy. Let's start the show running. Can you tell us about your journey and what inspired you to pursue your current career path? Tell us where it all started.
Great question. Well, I do have 40 years media experience. I know I don't look a day over 25. I am actually 50, and I first featured in the media when I was 10 years of age, and this is when my curiosity for the media really peaked. I was being interviewed by the Manly Daily in Sydney for table tennis, and I remember back then, this is in the film days of photography, and I remember the journalist and the photographer came out to our house in North Balgowlah, and we had a table tennis table in our garage. And the photographer got up on a ladder and he was taking a photo of me at the table with my bat and my ball looking up at the photographer. And I remember looking up at him when I was 10, thinking, wow, this looks like such a fun thing to do. I'd love to do something like this one day. And then at age 11, I was on Cartoon Connection on Channel 7 in front of 2 million people. And then I did my first media training at age 11 as part of a elite junior sports foundation, sponsorship with MLC alongside Joanna Griggs, Jeff Veale, other elite athletes at the time, and then did a radio show at 13, went on and did a media degree at Canberra University, and then worked in the media in TV, radio, and print for 20 years. And I've had my own business now on the Gold Coast for 20 years as well. So it's been an extraordinary journey, and I've loved every bit of it, and interviewing stars like Hugh Jackman, Cyndi Lauper, Debbie Harry from Blondie, Russell Crowe. There's been some amazing highlights of my career, and it's been one hell of a ride.
Fantastic. What's been the most challenging aspect of your work, and how do you believe you've overcome it?
Oh, it's a great question. I think one of the most challenging things for me as a journalist, I think, was attending some horrific scenes. Like I remember once I got to a accident scene before the actual ambulance or police had arrived at this particular accident scene. And it was where there was an elderly couple in their 80s that were in a car going down the highway. It was down the Cunningham Highway, western part of Brisbane. And a semi-trailer with a big train bogie on the back of it actually crossed the highway, and the bogie, which was like a 40-ton bogie, flipped and landed on this car.
Oh, God.
And so this couple in the 80s was sandwiched in the car, but they were actually still alive. And we were on the police scanner. I was a journalist at the time with the Queensland Times in Ipswich. And on the police scanner, we heard that this accident had happened. And with my photographer, we got straight to the scene where it happened before any of the emergency workers got there, because we were closer than they were at the time. And so attending things like that was really challenging when I was working as a journalist in mainstream media. And there was a lot of negativity in the mainstream media too, which I found challenging as well. It was a real cutthroat industry. They say there's a 5-year burnout with journalists. So it was go, 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 go. It was very high adrenaline. And eventually, you know, really, if I'd stayed in that, I would have definitely burnt out or potentially, you know, died very young, as a lot of journalists actually die in their early 60s from the stress of the job. So there can be a lot of PTSD, a lot of post-traumatic stress that can happen for journalists who are doing that kind of news. Although I also did entertainment reporting and different types of reporting. So that was one of the most challenging things as a journalist. But since having my own business, one of the most challenging things I found at having my own business is having clients that don't pay their bills. Okay, this has been and having those conversations with people around that. And you know, I don't like to take things to court. You know, I like to be able to talk to people and resolve things. I think if there's ever an issue over anything, everything can be resolved with communication. But when
it's called integrity, isn't it?
It's called integrity. When you have someone who doesn't want to communicate, and they don't want to pay their bills, and they make up whatever story why they justify why they don't want to pay their bills, you know, that can be really tough as a business owner, because I know that I give 100% to everything I do, and I know I deliver above and beyond. And when someone doesn't see that or appreciate that, I find that
frustrating.
I find that very frustrating, although I have learned that hurt people, and it's not about me. So nowadays I send them love, and nowadays I get money up front before I do the job, so I don't have these issues.
That's right. Anymore. Yeah, money up front or credit card in your system, either or.
Yes, yes.
Tell me an important moment in your career that pretty much changed the direction and how you end up starting your own business.
Well, I was working part-time as a photographer when I was working full-time at the Sun newspapers on the Gold Coast in 2002, and working with this company in Brisbane called Good Times Photography. And the guys that run that company, we're great friends to this day. We're very close. We help each other out with things and whatever. But I was doing function photography in Brisbane from the Gold Coast, and we'd often work late nights. I'd do photos at places like Crazy's Comedy Restaurant or Brentley's Theatre Restaurant. There's 600 people events. And back in the film days, this is before we were using digital photography in the early 2000s, we would take photos of 300 people at the function. We would run back to the lab with the film photography. We would get the photos printed. We would come back and sell the photos. And
remember those days?
Remember those days. And after several of these functions, and I was actually driving back to the Gold Coast at 1, 2 in the morning, very tired. I actually had a few small car accidents. Wow. And I thought to myself, why don't I just do something like this myself? And so I actually started a photography business, which was 𝐼𝐢𝐧𝐾𝐲 Photography at the time in 2002, after these small car accidents where I had a little bit of whiplash. There was no serious damage, but it was enough to kind of alert me to do things a little bit differently. And so I had the full-time job as a journalist, part-time photography business. And then when I left the job at the Sun newspapers in 2005, the business evolved into a media business. And that's where I do PR and marketing and media strategy, press releases, and also a lot of photography and videography as well through the business now.
You certainly turned it around. By the way, did you, at any stage of your journey, were you using Polaroids?
We use Polaroids occasionally for the odd function here and there, just when we wanted a quick photo to give to people.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I know some nightclubs did it that way. They just did the old Polaroid in a folder, and $10, you know.
Yeah, it's nice for a casual thing. We were actually printing
Yeah.
up the big 5x7
Beautiful. Yeah,
photos,
they're lovely.
5x7s or 6x8s.
Yeah.
And the quality of the actual photos like that, as
Sure.
opposed to Polaroid, were much
Yeah.
better quality.
Oh,
So
10
that was
times.
much better for selling. Mm.
Yeah. In your opinion, what are the key qualities or skills that you believe have contributed to your success apart from your determination?
I think self-love and self-growth has been huge, a huge part of my journey, and self-acceptance and being okay with exactly where I'm at, exactly how it is now without making myself wrong. I know as a high achieving table tennis player representing Australia for 6 years,
Hmm.
that I often felt that no matter how much I did, it wasn't enough. And a
Yes.
huge journey for me has been the personal development journey through my business. I've invested at least $500,000 in my business and personal development. And
Mm.
a lot of that has helped me build the confidence in myself to know that my message is really worthy and that I am here to make a difference and I can make a difference. Actually having the confidence to be able to speak up and step up about what it is that really matters to me. And without that self-love, without that self-growth and self-acceptance, there's no way I would be stepping up and speaking up and having the confidence and the courage to do what I do now and encouraging my clients to do the same.
Yeah, and also, I know you are when you're always learning, right? We don't stop
Yes.
learning, do we?
No, we never learn less.
Yeah, that's right. I like that. Right. How do you stay motivated and continue to innovate in your field? You're a natural. I mean, I'm sure we have our down days, but how do you stay motivated and continue to innovate?
I think having a great group of people around you. Now, we attend several of the same networking events, Jeff, so
Mhm.
you know what I'm talking about here.
Sure.
Your environment is absolutely key. Now, I hang out with a lot of millionaires and multimillionaires and people who aren't just in it for the money. There are a lot of
Sure.
amazing people out there who actually really do care and who make a huge difference to society. And so having multiple networking and groups and mentors that I have utilized over the years. And some of these people I've paid a lot of money to get into the proximity with these people. So
Yes.
proximity now, so a huge thing is hanging out with like-minded entrepreneurs who are visionaries, the crazy ones, the misfits, the ones that want to change the world, the ones that do change the world, right? That has been a great inspiration for me. But also having the downtime as well. When I say downtime, I've been very much as a media person, it's been go, 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 go. And for me, I've really had to learn to slow down. And as they say, slow down to speed up. And so one of the
Yeah,
huge
I
things
get that. Yeah.
doing the inner work, doing the things like meditating, yoga, finding joy in things like going to the beach, comedy, living my best life is what it's really about. Now, I've never married or had children, Jeff, so I have had a
Mm.
little bit more time probably than some people that have.
No, you're
have
living the life. You're living the dream. You're living the
I,
dream, my friend.
I have an amazing life and I'm constantly grateful as well. I think that's been another really huge thing for me is being grateful, doing things like the Good News Day, the Global Good News Challenge to remain in gratitude, because I know having had depression myself, having
Mm.
had 4 friends who've taken their own lives by the age of
Terrible.
45,
Mm.
that the power of good news to live a great life is crucial, and getting into gratitude and practicing that daily
I
has
think one
been
of the
huge.
ways to have some good news, guys, is turn off your television sets.
Yes,
Because it's
yes,
never about good news, guys. It's always good news doesn't sell too much, so it's never about the good news. So make your own news, guys. But don't be a
yes.
spectator. Be a player. Tell me, tell us a recent project or achievement that you're particularly proud of. You've got so many that I've seen, but tell me a recent one that you're particularly proud of.
Oh, that's a good one.
It is a
Well,
good one, isn't it? There's so many of them.
I'm in about 20 compilation books, and the last one, the book I read, volume 2, that was an international bestseller in America, in Canada, and Australia, which was a huge achievement. Also, the Heart of Women Awards recently on the Gold Coast. I was a finalist in 4 categories,
Wow,
and I won one of the award, the Big Idea Award. Actually, I won, and I think
fantastic.
that was a great achievement recently. And the Global Good News Challenge, we've had 4 years of doing that challenge every single month, and the Good News Day has now been going for 6 years. So I think that that consistency with that has been huge. And of course, Animal Action Events, that's been going for 17 years now, and that's
Awesome.
about awareness, appreciation, and respect for animals. And every year we raise funds for different charities.
Hmm.
Every year, so I think all these things have really been fantastic achievements. My 3 shows that I do, Media Queen TV, Total Truth Show. I have a co-host
Oh,
from
you
America.
haven't got time to be married.
and Media Mavens show.
Yeah.
I do with the lady from Germany, and I love to help animals personally as well. I've got a rescue cat now, and I had another rescue cat that passed away after 15 years of
I saw that story. It was a great story.
Yeah. So all those things I'm very proud of, and I am living my best life. Absolutely. So
you are indeed. Tell me, what advice would you give someone aspiring to follow in your footsteps, Aldwyn?
Well, I would say be the best version of you that you can be, because no one will ever be me, right? And yes,
That's
they
right.
may want to follow in my footsteps in some way. However, everyone's journey is different. And I
Correct.
think what I would say is embrace the journey of whatever's going on in your life right now, and accept that everything is the way as it's meant to be right now. There's nothing wrong. Everything that has happened right now up until this point has brought you to this point. And it's all about, okay, what do you want to create for your future? So I would say, notice in your life, what are the things that you love doing that bring you so much joy? And what are some ways that you can monetize that? How can you make that part of your life where you're not just doing a job or have a career, but you're actually embracing everything you do as part of your life and making a difference? And the best way you can do that is to look at what you love doing, what you're good at doing, what the world needs. It's the whole ikigai principle, right? If you look up ikigai, you'll the Japanese principle of, what do you love? What does the world need? What are you good at? What lights you up? Because, Bob Proctor, now he lived to 87, one of the biggest personal development guys around, and he worked right up until he died at 87 years of age. And someone asked him, how do you find your purpose? And he said on YouTube, this video, you can look it up. He says, do what you love as much as possible. Do as much as you can of what you love. And if you do that and fully embrace that, and also notice the journey of life, notice where you're, what your emotions are like as you're going through this journey of life. And if we have some down times, it's okay, because we're going to go up and down this scale.
Absolutely.
And the sooner we get the learnings from when we're in our low points in life, the sooner we can move up to a more expanded state of being. And I truly believe that's what life's about, is living your best life, is living an expanded life as opposed to a contracted life. And half the thing is getting conscious where you've been unconscious about where you're contracted in life, and bringing that back to an expanded state in a beautiful.
Yeah, I'll add to that. Some of you people, I always say, you're dead at 25. They just bury the body at 65. Enjoy life. Enjoy life, guys. Get out and do what you love. If you love it, like I do, I'm 75, guys. I'm still doing this stuff. I'm doing it because it's a passion, right? It's a passion, not a job. It's a passion. I found something I love. I love helping people like Aldwyn, and Aldwyn does it so wonderfully well throughout the world. So, if you want to be an Aldwyn, you won't be an Aldwyn, but be whoever you want to be. But do if you like fishing, go fishing every day. Do it for a living. Teach people how to fish. The whole thing.
Yes, and be kind to yourself is a big thing I'll say here too. Be kind to yourself. Sometimes we can be our own harshest critics,
That's
so
right.
just know if you're speaking badly to yourself, if you're calling yourself an idiot or anything like that, sometimes these things pop out for people, right?
I understand. I have arguments all the time with myself.
Yeah. So it's just getting conscious and going, okay, all right, maybe I was an idiot before, but I'm not an idiot now, right? Now I love myself, I appreciate myself, I accept myself exactly as I am, and I can create whatever I want in life, because truly
you're like a ray of sunshine, or when you really are. Tell me, looking ahead, what are your goals and aspirations for the future? You've got a long way to go if you're going to be like Bob Proctor. So what's your goals and aspirations for the future?
Thank you so much. Well, one of my big goals has always been to do like a studio TV show, like a Dave Letterman show. So I've still got that vision in my mind. Now I do obviously with my live shows I do online, they're kind of like the next best thing to having a studio show. But I would actually love to do a studio show one day where we share good news with the world, a lot of comedy, live music, creativity. I love doing my shows, and I would love to have over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and have, I'd love to have millions of people watching my show. And I know it's not all about the numbers, but I do want to have much bigger impact. Currently have 100,000 viewers on our shows. I'd like to have millions of viewers. So I'd like at least over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and at least 1 million followers watching the shows and connecting.
Let's hope this helps today. But guys, it's all about spreading the word, and it's about common sense, guys. A lot of you haven't got it, but it's about common sense. If it quacks like a duck, if it feels like a duck, it's a duck. you know. And I want to tell you, trust your gut, guys. It's amazing. Your gut's an amazing thing. I've learned that later in life. If I think something's a bit sus, it normally is sus. You know, my gut told me before my brain told me. You know,
Yes.
so I say trust your gut, guys. Aldwyn, tell our listeners and everybody watching today how they can reach out and find more about you and connect with you if they wish to.
Thank you so much, Jeff. Well, you can go to linktree/Aldwyn's got all my links in there, linktr.ee/Aldwyn, spelled ALDWYN. And you'll see in there I have my upcoming events. I've got one coming up on Friday, in fact, how to build a global brand. It's a free webinar, 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time this Friday. And there's ongoing events. So if you follow me on Eventbrite, go and check out my website. It's got a whole lot of free media resources. That's aaxpose.com, or just go into my link tree. You'll see that. You can book a call with me on calendar. We have several ways we support people who want to be seen, heard, and known through the mass media.
Awesome.
Mass Media Mastery Program, or also marketing packages around our shows as well. So reach out, and we also do PR for people as well. If you would just want your marketing done for you, then reach out, book a call, let's have a chat and see if we...
Don't worry, guys. We're going to put Aldwyn all across our social media channels as well, and all the links will be under the YouTube video. And before we wrap this up, tell us a fun fact about yourself that most people don't know.
A fun fact. Okay. Well, you know that I represented Australian table tennis for
I know now.
6 years.
That's awesome.
So I actually, here's a fun fact you probably don't know, is I beat the number 32 in the world as a 16-year-old at the Italian Open Championships. And the top Australian senior female was 200 in the world.
Wow.
And so that's the highest achievement I ever came to as a table tennis player at 16 years of age. Another thing is I was kicked out of home at 15, and that's a whole other story.
I know that one.
Depths of despair, and was a complete rebel, and how I was able to then turn my life around and realize that the grass is not greener on the other side.
That's right.
And have come out of that as well. So it's been one hell of a ride. I did get caught out in the middle of the ocean last year in Coffs Harbour. That was another story.
I saw that story. That was an interesting story. That was a shocker, eh?
Yeah, I had a near-death experience there, and that was, I'm very grateful to have survived that, and to help share the beach safety message after that that happened as well. So
yeah, and it's such a simple thing. It's such a simple thing, isn't it? you don't realize what's happening, and then all of it, it's like you're in a horror movie all of a sudden.
Oh, it was, I was in a creek where when I stepped into the creek, the water was up to my knees. And before I knew it, I was being swept out to sea, and I was about 1 kilometre out to sea within no time at all. So, so this can happen to anyone, anytime. And it's important to be very mindful of that if you're in the ocean. Very powerful forces out there.
Another good story for the Gold Coast, guys. Swim between the flags. They're there for a reason.
Yes.
Aldwyn, thank you very much for being a guest today. And guys, if you want to be a celebrity and be on 15 Minutes of Fame, remember, $30,000 for a TV commercial. Aldwyn can tell you the prices. 10 radio spots going to set you back between $3,000 and $5,000. You can come on 15 Minutes of Fame, totally free. We'll put you across all the social media channels, and we'll have some fun. So it's been a great day today, Aldwyn. Tell us something to wrap this up, Aldwyn. Wrap it up for us.
Thank you so much, Jeff. Look, I think you are such an inspiration. I mean, some of the things I've heard about your story are extraordinary. I can't wait to interview you on Media Queen TV. And this is something else I'd say, is that whenever someone is generous, like Jeff has just made this extraordinary offer to be on his show for free, always look at where you can give something back. Where can you create a win-win scenario, and always look at how you can be of service. They say there's no greater purpose in life than being of service. And I so appreciate you, Jeff, and look forward to having you on Media Queen TV as well.
Look forward to it. Thanks for today, Aldwyn.